Can I actually just talk about what, like, the one interesting thing that seems to have come out in the last week?
Sure. What's up, big guy?
The fact that the Heavy Rain makers are going to be working on a Star Wars game, and I'm not sure if I'm interested on this or not.
Why not?
Because I don't know what it is about those games, but like I've never truly like loved any of them. I've tried to play Heavy Rain, it was okay. Beyond Two Souls was fine, and Detroit Become Human I just never finished. So like specifically like those games have not quite struck a chord with me, and I'm not sure if Star Wars is going to be something that just brings me further into it. Now I've heard that apparently that game is going to be more um action driven, a little bit more exploration based rather than just being like a choose your own story. Probably will still retain some of those elements, but it will probably at least be a little more action focused, because I mean it would be kind of weird if you play a Star Wars game and there's not really that much action to it. I guess you could do it, but it'd be kind of weird, if you were a Jedi or a smuggler or whatever else and you didn't really do anything, so it'd be kind of weird, but
I don't know. I disagree. I think having them make a Star Wars game sounds awesome. Um, I think it comes with a fresh perspective because we've always had we've had the third person games, we've had the first person games, we've had the RPGs, the MMORPGs, but we've never really had like a choose your own adventure sort of walking sim, I guess is what I'd frame them as. And I think it's neat that we can. I think it makes sense because we can have a situation where we can have a really good Star Wars story without having to have the gameplay elements of like, oh, you're bringing down a Star Destroyer because you are the apprentice of Darth Vader. And the idea of having choice is pretty much right up Star Wars' alley. Like you can start having, some Jedi or something like that and have them constantly choose between, using making dark side choices or making light side choices if you want. Alternatively, make it into like a Star Wars game where you're playing as an Imperial general, right? You're not so much on the ground doing the shooty shooty bang bang, but you can have them up on top of the Star Destroyer or the battlefield, kind of making decisions and sort of how do you kind of lead a rebellion or like lead a rebellion or the Empire. I'm just kind of thinking of ideas like put yourself in a military leadership thing, and you have to decide how to best navigate or something.
yeah, I guess I'm thinking in like the mind of what we're conditioned to think what a Star Wars game is supposed to be like. You think Jedi immediately. Well, these kind of
Mhm.
games would not work very well with Jedi.
Mhm.
You could go the length of a smuggler, but again, you're going to kind of want to shoot a lot of stuff, so it's probably a note. But again, like their idea is saying that it's going to be a little more actiony, which could open it up to being like I guess maybe a third person action game, something like that. Who knows?
Mhm.
It's just I guess my brain immediately thinks like I'm just playing Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human all in my head, being like, what would your main character be? Because I mean, you can't just do some random like person. It doesn't work. Like, but you can't also have a pilot because then there's no flying. You can't be a Jedi because there's no lightsaber fights. Like, my brain just limits myself, and I'm sure they'll come up with something interesting. It's just at this point, without seeing what it is, I'm just like,
Mhm.
man, that's a challenge.
Well, I'm thinking like, and I haven't read it, but there's one like I'm sure there's tons, but there's a Star Wars book that I'm thinking of, and it's like two friends, and they're both pilots, and one becomes a part of the Empire, and it goes to like the pilot academy, and the other one gets tied up with the rebellion. And I mean, like, that's almost something that you can kind of do, like have people kind of from the beginning, like make nobodies and have them sort of be like someone who's kind of dabbling in the Empire, like maybe they have a job, they're sent to go investigate someone, go search for someone, and along the way they kind of become aware of the rebellion and what the Empire is all about, and you're making choices of like, do you continue down your path with the Empire and fill out your mission, or do you start siding with the rebels? Like I think there's a lot of interesting choices that you could do in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, but again, with the pilot stuff, my brain expects there to be space combat, and I can't imagine Quantic Dream just suddenly, for the first time, having like this extensive action like combat system. So, I mean, who
Hmm.
knows? Maybe they'll pop up with something just we haven't seen it before. But like when I think Quantic Dream, I always think they're just walking around exploring things. Now, when they say more action oriented, I don't know what that means. Does it mean fist fighting? Could it mean lights? Like I don't know. There's so much to it. It's just more the seeing it on paper is intriguing. Like I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be bad. I'm more like I'm intrigued, but I have a lot of questions that I need answers to before I can make any sort of judgment on it, even ahead of time. I'm more just like, this could be cool, but I don't know what the hell you're gonna do.
Yeah. Do you think that we're getting to the point where we're getting oversaturated with Star Wars games? Because I know I'm thinking we've had the EA ones. They're making another Jedi Fallen Order. They're making the Lego Star Wars is coming out, I think, next year, early next year. We have Knights of the Old Republic. We've got Quantum Dream working on one. Like, are we getting oversaturated with Star Wars games, you think?
As if it's not EA doing everything, I'm cool with whatever they want to do, and especially if the games are different. Because I mean, Fallen Order is more of a third-person, like Soulsy kind of game. You got Lego Star Wars, which is a family-friendly, just smash things and collect stuff. You've got games like, I mean, Squadrons just came out not too long ago, so you had your pilot game. You got Knights of the Old Republic, which is more of an action RPG. And then you might have a Quantic Dream game, which is a very storytelling based game. So as long as I just want I want another pod racing game. Like somebody get on that, give me my pod racing back, and I'm good. Get like the F-Zero guys for Nintendo. Actually, never mind, because if they do that, it'll be only on Nintendo and I can't play it. Never mind, scratch that. Give it to I don't know, the guys who do Burnout. Sure, let's do that.